I love to fail because I think I don't have anything to lose. So you have to be careful based on what you're losing because of that failure. If you're losing money, like you invest and you're failing a lot of money, then you have to be careful. So how I reacted to failure was getting better. Because of that, my confidence got better.
Welcome to another episode of GEPic Journeys. Today we have an individual who's the master of 3 C's. You might think, what are these 3 C's? He's a comedian, he's a content creator, and also he's a coach. There's going to be a lot of things you can learn from him, and he's also doing public speaking on the other hand as well. So anyone who's interested in these topics and anyone who wants to learn how to build confidence for you to be able to go and speak out there and to be open about your thoughts, this is the episode for you. Welcome, Haran.
I did a lot of visuals when you were talking, so that...
See the comedian part of him already?
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
You might see all 3 different personalities popping in and out. Like I'll be serious suddenly and like, hey, joke, joke. Okay.
Oh, before I forget, he's also a software engineer, former software engineer. So I had this joke prepared for you to say that if at some point you crash in one of those careers of the 3 C's, you can debug yourself.
Yes.
Bad joke, but still.
That's fine.
Let's get into it.
He already told me the joke before, so
It's already ruined.
he ruined it himself.
Let's get into it then.
Yeah.
Tell us, who is Anderson Haran?
Who is Anderson? Anderson is the 3 C's you have mentioned, and completely I am all about growing myself while helping other people grow as well. And there's some selfishness in that. When you help another person grow, you grow more. That's number one, right? When you want to be good at something, you try to teach some other people. So that's one selfish reason. And the second reason is, for example, if I help you achieve something, I'm actually creating an opportunity for you, and also that's an opportunity for me to, work together with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in a detailed form, that's who Anderson is. Anderson is a very helpful, kind-hearted soul. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's get into your story. How did Anderson Haran become this person, a comedian, a coach, a content creator? And not to mention, you studied for your software engineering degree, but you stepped out of it to follow your passion. Tell us the story behind it.
Yeah. So it's a long story. You guys have time? Let me just adjust my seat. Okay. So I think my number one goal was always to be confident, I think, which is a common goal for a lot of people. But in order for you to become confident, there are different stages that you have to face. And we are afraid to face those. Because of that, we can't achieve it. And even my content creation journey started in 2020 because of COVID. And I think a lot of content creators started their journey in Sri Lanka during COVID. And the good side of that is there are so many great content creators that we see now. And I don't think they would have started it if COVID was not there, which is the sad part. So I'm one of those people. And so I don't know which one to start with, because 3 different areas, right? Content creator, coach, and comedian. So there could be 3 different stories, but they're all connected to each other.
Interconnected.
So it's interesting how those 3 are interconnected, because when I do one thing, I'm actually improving the other 2 as well. For example, if I'm doing coaching, public speaking coaching, I'm developing my confidence to even being present on stage. So being present on stage is connected to stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is comedy, right? Yeah. So comedy is connected to my comedy content creation, funny videos. Yeah. And again, funny videos is connected to my stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy is connected to public speaking. And for me, public speaking is here and stand-up comedy is one step above. So I like that challenge where, like, if you are speaking as a public speaker, you're trying to share a message.
Yeah.
And it's not, but stand-up comedy is difficult because you're expecting people to laugh as well. Right? So it's one level above because it actually challenges your confidence.
Get a reaction out of the crowd.
Yes, it's a challenge. So in this journey, I enjoy that process as well. So I'm not a confident kid growing up. Like until my A levels, I was like a mathematician, bro. Like I just work with books. Okay, integration, differentiation, that kind of a guy. And anyway, usually schools focus more on the academics more than the skills, and especially you develop those skills after you leave the school.
True.
Or you just get pushed into a situation where you are like, humiliated by your presentation skills or networking skills. You don't know how to talk to people. You just stand awkward at a meeting, or you get stuck and you don't know how to manage. That's a funny one. You do a presentation and you're stuck and you don't know how to answer. And people ask you, can you explain that? And you're afraid to say, I don't know how to explain that, right? So you're like, you just stay silent for a while.
I think we've all been there at some point.
It's easy to say, I don't know and move on, but we just stay until the lecturers asked us, okay, fine. It's fine, you can go. So confidence developed after I left school because I think there are different personalities, right? I don't know, extroverted, introverted, all of those things. I think usually by default I'm extroverted, I think. Like maybe 60-70% I'm extroverted. Because of that, I always had that passion to go and keep trying.
Yeah.
Even if I fail. So after A levels, I joined a company, and then a lot of learning happened there. Like I used to think teaching is, teaching. Like I always teach you. But I never thought teaching can be really interactive. So, dude, this is a big question. See, I don't know which area to touch in. So maybe you can go one by one.
Yeah,
you can ask me tell me about your comedy journey.
Let's start with comedy.
Comedy journey. Okay. Stand-up comedy journey.
Yes.
Okay. So I met the guy called Shoaib Ali, and he used to do stand-up comedy in Colombo, not in like big scale shows, small coffee shops kind of shows.
Right.
And when I spoke to him, before I spoke to him, I actually tried comedy on open mics, and I failed terribly. You tell a joke and like no one is laughing. You're like,
you want to entertain us with a bit of insight into that?
Yeah, so I tried. I can't remember the joke, but I think the joke was at an open mic. I prepared like my first ever stand-up attempt. I wrote like 2 pages of scripts, and I said something very lame. Like these days, even 30-year-olds are singles, but a 17-year-old guy, and he was like, what's up, bro? Like, I'm not single. I thought that would work. I was like, wow, dude, that was nice. I mean, can't you guys imagine? But no one is laughing. They're like, where's the punchline? And that was very lame, and my brother was there. Brothers enjoy the moments when you flop, and you can see the entire crowd is quiet, and he's like, and then I posted a video about that experience on Facebook saying I did my first stand-up comedy, and these are the 3 things I have learned. When I put that, he has watched that video, Shoaib Ali, and then he dropped me a message and got my contact, and then he spoke to me with high energy. I'm like, wow, where's this guy getting so much energy from? And then he told, okay, we can work on this. I can guide you a little bit. And we organized our first show under his guidance. And then I just shared some random things, and since people enjoyed, he created the right environment.
Yeah.
First of all, for comedy, you can't just do comedy at any place. You have to create the environment. Like, for example, theater setup. If there's a round table setup, it's difficult for it to even turn and look at the comedian.
Yeah.
They might even start interacting with each other. So when it's a movie theater style, everyone is facing the stage. You can perform stand-up and the attention is still there. Even a silent movement, they're not going to get distracted. So you try to tell a joke, it doesn't work, and you can just stay awkwardly silent, and people will find it funny. So he created that environment to exercise my whatever body language, funny body language or funny content and so on, and it worked. And then after that gave me confidence to create our own shows. Like, we did multiple open mics, so that's how we found more people in our group to do stand-up comedy. Each of them are found through open mics and so on. And there's a lot of people who tried stand-up and then they are happy that they did it and they go away because that's like a bucket list for them.
Right.
For us, like,
It's a lifestyle.
we wanted to keep doing it, so that's a remaining set of people who we have right now. And then COVID, like, we were doing really well until 2019 end, and we were thinking, okay, now it's time to do the big show. And then tickets all printed. COVID. And then only that I was pumped up, like, I'm gonna do more shows and so on. So that kind of controlled, everyone's wishes and everything. So maybe that's why I started to try content. And then it started to pick up.
Right.
So that's content is another journey. And then, there's a lot of learning. Like, stand-up comedy, I think, is a very brand new industry in Sri Lanka. There's not a lot of people doing it. I think we have 2 clubs at the moment.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes you're overconfident. Like, I did 2 shows, people laughed, so I don't have to worry that much. Let me try the third one, and the third one flops. Like, you go back, you start to doubt, and then you try again. And improv, without writing any script, you trying jokes. Like, I like to be good at that, but that's a risk as well, which is also a test to your confidence. Can you actually do it? Can you nail it? So there's a lot of learning. There's it's not like a journey that's always up, like confident, good shows. It's like,
It's about managing all this.
Now it's going well. So I have, by behavior, by performing in multiple events and talking to people, I know I won't go below this. So standard is set not because I force myself. It's set because of the practice. Like, you know how to cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like cycling, you can't fall. You got the balance now. But the next step can be, high. What is it? Cycling, riding on one wheel and so on, which is the next challenge to have.
Wheeling, basically.
Wheeling, yes. So that's a word. That was my comedy journey, and then people started to recognize the work. And recently also I went to Dubai, and after that my confidence for improv increased rapidly, because once you perform in front of like a foreigners and then you see 1 or 2 jokes work, you're like,
That's it.
I know how to make international people laugh. And when you come back, you feel like Thanos, I don't know. And then after that, I was more open to failing on stage, or accepting the failure on stage itself, which is also funny. And now, see, because there's a quick hike in my confidence, again, that's a big challenge for me to put myself in front of international audience to try stand-up, which a lot of people don't want to do, but I don't know, something like, even if I fail, I have to do this.
Huge risk.
It's a risk. Like, I'm gonna look so stupid on stage in front of people, but I need this experience for me to have some internal improvement. So I tried it, and I think 6 or 7 out of 10 was the score that a friend gave from the audience. So I was like, okay, that's good enough. Like, I expect like 4 or 5, but 6, 7 is like, okay, not bad. And then after that, when we perform in other small shows we do, we don't even have to market ourselves saying, viral content, right? People who come to that event, which is one of the most underrated techniques of getting more shows. If you do well in that show, like, let's say there are 40 people, all 40 are coming from different industries. I don't think all 40 works in one company, right? So at least there should be 20-30 companies. So if we do well, they will recommend us. saying, he was good. Like, what about our annual party? We'll invite him to do a stand-up or host one of our shows in a funny way. So there's a lot of private shows that are happening now, more than public shows. But I want to do more public shows anyway. So that's my comedy journey.
So we talked about your comedy journey, or then content creation also sort of looped in there, no?
Yeah, content creation, there are some specific techniques. We'll get there later. That's fine. Yeah. Because
So
otherwise you will not talk. You'll be just like, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
But it's important to know, like, because a lot of things came out of that story where you take a lot of risks and even you're ready to fail.
Yeah.
And you said that's how you learn.
Yeah.
And through practice only now you know what your standards and how not to fail. So I think that's very important for anyone out there who's listening. And if you're intrigued and if you are interested in the story of Haran, keep listening. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment your favorite moment from the video today once the video is done. So keep listening. So let's circle back to this point, Haran, of failing to sort of understand things. How did you get into that sort of, how did you build that confidence? Did it come naturally, or did you have to work for it, or did you have to build a mindset to say, okay, no matter what goes down, I'm going to do this? How did you build it? Let's have a talk.
Yeah, it's, I love to fail because I think I don't have anything to lose. So you have to be careful based on what you're losing because of that failure. If you're losing money, like you invest and you're failing a lot of money, then you have to be careful. But me failing on stage, what's the biggest thing I'm losing? People laughing. Okay? Go back to software engineering. Okay? But like when I think about the growth that I want to have, these failures are not that big, right? So, and also I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
So that failure, I like it because I know there's a lot of things happening inside my brain to understand it. Like even when you sleep with a failure, your brain starts to analyze, right? That's why you get dreams and stuff.
Yeah.
Like okay, this happened because of this because of this, and then you talk to some other people and get tips and try to fill those gaps and try that on the next one. So I love failing on stage. Now I know how to, now I know how to react to that failure. The other thing is, it's not the failure, it's how you react to it. Like let's say you tell a joke and nobody laughs and you're like, I apologize that this joke didn't work. I'll try my best. Thank you guys. I actually said that in one of the shows. I said, sorry, we couldn't plan it well on the stage, which is very stupid. So that's how I reacted to a failure. So that is bad. But if you failed on stage and then you're like, sorry guy, not like a serious way, but in a funny way, if you can tackle it, like how you react to it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll do it good. So what? And then you just leave. It will be funny, or like I expected that to be funny, but it's fine. I'll
So
cry.
then that becomes a joke.
Yeah, I'll go home and cry. No one will see. Like when you say those things, you're actually using that. So how I reacted to failure was getting better. Because of that, my confidence got better. Right. So if you're saying hi to someone, like hi, and they don't say hi back to you, so you're like, like you don't know how to react to it. You're like, I said hi. You didn't. Why? Are you upset or stressed or something? And they're like, so I'm going, and you feel even more humiliated because they're trying to avoid. So it's how you reacted to it. Right? So, but if someone says, you say hi and they don't say hi, and like, okay, and then you go and then or you smile or just go. So how you reacted is important. So failure, everybody is going through failures, but how they react is the problem. If you show that on the face or something, like you do a presentation, that's what happens, right? When they ask a question, you can say, I don't know, I'll search about it. So that's a problem, but you reacted in a way that you'll search about it. But if someone asks you, and you don't, if they ask you a question and you don't know how to answer, you're like, and that's how you reacted to a problem.
in a sense, being prepared for it also helps, right? Like you're going with that mindset, like, if that person doesn't say hi, so what?
Yeah.
And if you don't go unprepared, it becomes an involuntary reaction. It comes, okay, I don't know what to do. I think that
so
is
the
a part of it,
preparation
isn't
is important, but how many scenarios can be prepared for?
it? Yeah, that's true.
Right? So let's say hi situation. If they're not saying hi, you're prepared. What if they shout at you? what hi? It's Monday morning, right? You don't know how to react to it now. So you cannot be prepared for everything, but you can just do nothing, which is also a great way to react to something. Just freeze. If someone says something stupid, they're like, okay, that's it. So holding that reaction, just slowing that reaction down even helps you. Just thinking, right? You just need thinking time. Sometimes you ask a difficult question and I try to answer that immediately just to show my expertise is also a problem. If I might not know the answer. So I can just say, give me a minute, let me think about it. But what people do is, no, I don't think, just speak. And that's when you give the stupidest answers. So that reaction time, reducing the reaction time is also important. But again, I love failures because my goal is to keep growing. Because of that, I'm happy with it. And also I encourage the kids, I do coaching for kids.
Right.
And I don't tell them, like, if you're failing on stage, that's a good thing. Because now you have experienced the worst. So next time you can be like, last time I did worse than this. I'm doing better. At least you have a worse scenario to compare.
Yeah.
But if you decide to end your journey on that first failure itself, which I was going to, stand-up comedy, my first one failed, I thought, no, not going back to stand-up again. Because I met Shuhaib Ali, he gave me that confidence to try it again.
Whole situation.
Yeah. So I'm happy that I put that video saying I failed on my stand-up. So otherwise I would have, maybe I could have tried after 1 year or something. But I don't know. When you put it out, something comes to help you. Someone comes to help you. Universe, bro. Universe.
I think sharing things out there and like talking to people and letting them know might sometimes help you, will at some point help you. Yeah, makes sense. So it's being confident and having that, grit within you, because that also, like, posting your failure on Facebook, that takes courage, according to me. Because not everyone wants to do that, not everyone would do that. So I think that's a part of it. And now rerouting back to the 3 C's, we have coaching left.
Yeah.
So I believe you coach students and individuals to build confidence in public speaking and all the scenarios. So are there any memorable moments that you had with any of these students that you could take an example out of, or anything that you want to sort of put out so that our listeners could develop their confidence in public speaking and, become another Anderson Haran someday?
Okay. A lot of different experiences are there. So I primarily do coaching for kids like who are going to school, like could be A levels or O levels. So starting from age 7 to 17. And adults, we have a membership, so we do that once a week as well. But usually I think it's important to coach kids on communication so that they can achieve things faster in life. Like we spent 2 years or something after finishing A levels to improve our confidence. Just imagine you develop that skill in grade 5 itself. You would have tried, you might be the youngest entrepreneur or something, right? So a lot of memories are there. So like I see a 23 or 24-year-old nervous me in a 10-year-old kid. And I'm like, wow, this 10-year-old kid is experiencing this already, but I had to experience this in my 23 or something, which means he's gonna try more things now. And some learners, sometimes they do a speech and they go like they're fainting. So I have to be ready to catch them.
Part of it.
Yes. Yeah, you have to exercise to catch people. when they are falling. And a lot of interactive learning things happen. So what I like to provide inside the class, like what did I need when I was doing stand-up comedy or performance or whatever, is I needed opportunities, not sitting and learning, not like 24 hours of learning from YouTube, right? Because YouTube will give you a generic idea. There's a lot of things to learn based on your behaviors. Like say, learning about you is
More important.
How do I react on stage? How do I use my body language? Like, body language is important.
Yeah.
But are you actually using that on stage? YouTube can't tell you that.
That's true.
You have to watch your own videos. So that's the biggest, like even on my wall I have written this: execute more than learning. At least execute and learn at the same time. No point on just learning. So if I learn a technique, I have to apply that on one of my content and see if it's working. So that it's a practical learning. So in my sessions we created so many activities and games and speech tasks and so on in every session for that learner to practice every single time. So if it's a 3-month program, it's like once a week. Every week they have to do something. So by default they get used to that behavior of speaking. So on the first day they might be like, I don't want to, and then the second day they're like, okay, I'll try it. And the third day they do something and they flop, and everyone's like, oh yeah, he failed, but he did a better job than the first one. And then the fourth one they try better, and then it just gets better. So they get immune to whatever the fear is holding. So if you ask me what's the one learning you can give out of that, is you have to put yourself through multiple experiences for you to get immune to that. That's a learning. Like you need to develop confidence in speaking or interacting or networking with people and so on. You have to put yourself in level 1, level 2, level 3 and so on continuously. Like simplest example. Let's say public speaking fear. Are you afraid to speak in front of 10 people?
Okay.
What is the uncomfortable number that you have?
Let's say around 100.
100, okay.
Yeah.
So 100 you're uncomfortable, around 80?
Would do. Ideally, yeah.
Okay, so do more in front of 80 until you feel like 80 is, okay, now it's normal for me. And then you go to 100.
100.
But again, you have to organize events for you, right? So to do that,
that's a huge task.
That's a huge task. But it's not even that. So you are in a good place where you are now able to talk in front of 80 people, right? But I'm talking about the people who can't even talk in front of 5 people.
Yeah.
So which means that can be their level 1. Or maybe that's level 2. Level 1 can be just talking in front of the mirror, right? Or just recording yourself and looking at it, can be level 1. Until you get comfortable talking to the camera for at least 30 days straight. Right? That's a good challenge for people to have. Record yourself for 30 days, doing a speech to the camera, and then compare your first video with the 30th video. And you'll see, okay. You'll see it.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about that is, when you watch yourself, you automatically criticize yourself and then you change. Because we are very critical, right? When you look at the mirror and you see one hair flying, you are like, oh, there's a hair flying. You adjust it. But outside, whatever is, doesn't matter how messy your hair is, people are like that, it's normal. Like, you don't look different. You look the same. They don't notice those small details. So that's why watching yourself perform is extremely important. And that will automatically make you grow. So that's a tip. Try the 30-day video challenge of you talking to the camera or dancing or singing, whatever it is. But you have to see yourself. Because when you're doing it, you don't realize what you're not doing. Because you're thinking about what to say, right?
Yeah.
You're not thinking about body language, vocal variation, eye contact. You're not thinking of all of those things. Just what to say next. When you watch the video only, you realize, I'm looking at the roof when I'm talking. Right? My hands are doing this all the time. Those things you realize only when you look at yourself in a calm, neutral mindset.
So interesting, because an issue that I have, even though I might be able to speak in front of 100 people, is that I'm still finding it hard to record myself in front of the public. Like for an example, like there are content creators that takes the camera, goes to, let's say, a supermarket and does a video, and sometimes I'm sitting down there and wondering how much confidence does this person to have. Like people are watching them, some are judging them. They don't care about any of those. They just do their piece of content, they edit it, they post it, and that's how they go about it. But I still struggle with it, and I feel like
people actually struggling to do what you're doing now. These things. so
steps of struggles, because there might be a person who's okay with the thing that I'm saying, like might be okay with going to supermarket, but might not be comfortable doing this sort of a thing. So different challenges. But then again, when you talk about such a situation, like you're a content creator, so how did you then grow in that whole personality of, okay, I don't care about what people think, I'm just gonna do my thing, I'm gonna do my video, I'm gonna get this content out. I mean, there might be criticism out there.
Recording outside?
Outside, yeah. And even if you post it, right, there'll be criticism, sometimes there'll be appreciations. How do you like take it in? How do you handle it? And what's your advice to people who wants to create content going forward?
For me, criticism is extremely less, because I make fun of myself, right? So people are like, I want to, like, he was already doing that, so let him do it. So since it's a funny video, usually funny videos, very rare that you get dislikes or like hate comments. Because of that, I'm safe. But if I get negative feedback, if it's useful, I will, how you receive that message is important, right? If they tell you the video quality is, let's say the message's video quality is bad, but they say, bro, buy a good phone, bro, what is this? If they put it that way, then it's fine. It's actually not that bad. Okay. So in that case, you can just get the idea and ignore the message. Don't even reply to it. And yeah, don't reply to it. Simple. Don't do anything. That's all.
Just don't give them a reaction, like you're learning from the beginning itself.
Yeah, don't give a reaction, and unless it's useful, just reply to it. But not reacting to it is, I like it. Or just put a heart and leave it. Put a love. I love you.
Okay, so that's your answer. Like even you're shooting in public and people, give you looks, let them.
Yeah, in public.
Is it different?
Yeah, public people will look, but like I have a little bit of, uncomfortable, because I know I'll be doing it much better when there's no one looking.
Okay.
So that has a small impact. But when I keep doing it, so I also say hi. So when you do that, you might feel a little comfortable, because you're not trying to hide from them, right? Yeah. So they can see, and sometimes I do that. Shooting. And then they also laugh a little bit. So I think that is also fine. It's not that difficult, but either way I have to do it, right? So I just do it, and they understand it's like a professional thing. So they're going crazy, but that's the maximum they can think is crazy. But again, that's the other thing is, the funny character I have is a character. It's not the real me, right?
So it's different personalities.
Yeah. So I'll be acting and then suddenly switching to a normal person. Like, did you record it properly? Let me look. So because of that, since I know this is not the real one, I'm creating a character. I'm like, let the world see the weird one, because that's a character I created. I'm aware that this is a dumb character, and I'm not dumb. So, because of that, you're like, okay,
So I think it's a good learning that, you can sort of create a persona of yourself. Like, let's say I'm creating some content, I could think, okay, I'm this content creator, I'm not myself at the moment. So, might as well go there, do it.
Think about Mr. Bean. He's one of the smartest guy, right? So if he gives an interview, you're like, okay. But how dumb he acts on public and so on. So I think watching those also help you realize, okay, he is also doing it. So I'm just in Sri Lanka doing in a small scale. Same concept, low budget.
There's your answer.
Yeah.
It answered my question. I hope it did yours as well. So, when looking through your portfolio and listening to your story before we started our podcast, one of the biggest questions I had is, you studied to be a software engineer. And just a year into it, you stopped that. Necessarily not stopped, but you quit you switched your career completely. It's not like you were a software engineer, you really went into something related to it. No, completely not.
Yeah.
Went into comedy, went into public speaking. How did you make that career change, and what prompted you to get there?
So I like coding anyway. It's not like I hate coding, I quit the job. But I like coding, but I love stage stuff and movie making, content creation. So because of that, anyway, so coding and stuff takes a lot of time, thinking time, your presence is needed.
Yeah.
And especially during COVID, it was a new thing for everyone to work from home. So we had to work extra because companies were figuring out how to deal with this. So some companies, I don't know if all the companies did it, some companies asked to work a little extra hours because now the traveling time is taken off.
Yeah.
So because of that, anyway, I kept my manager informed saying, you know, I might also try performance and stand. I'm interested in these things as well, but I'm at the same time, I'll be working here. So he was also open-minded. He was like, okay, fine, stand-up comedy, cool, try it. So even recently he invited me back to perform stand-up comedy at that company. So we are cool. So software engineering, I liked it because, and also there were not that many options for us to study back then. I don't know if it has changed now.
I think if
A lot of changes have happened. The choices were less, and obviously you go for either doctor or software engineering. Software engineering is the most common one because all my friends are like, you're software engineer, I'm also going to. What do you want? You're software engineering, I also. Okay. We'll all go and study. But the knowledge I have received is amazing. And even still now people ask, you put so many depressing software engineer content. Should I reconsider what I'm studying? I'm like, no, if you enjoy it, if you like it, do it. So I'm just making fun of just general relatability, that's all. So I worked for 1 year, and at the same time after work, like there used to be open mics and stuff. So I just go for that as well. After work I go and perform, and the next day job and so on. And then I met again Shoaib Ali, stand-up comedy, and then at the same time the Pufferfish is a confidence building company. And then we slowly elevated there. And leaving the job was a little scary for me too.
Yeah, I think that's an important point we need to talk about.
Yeah, it was a startup. So the Pufferfish was a startup back then. And leaving a good paying job and switching to that was a little, I just quit, and I was like, can you know, if something doesn't go well, can you pay me from your pocket? Because I'll work hard. But if in case, can you take care of my finance a little bit? And he was like, okay, fine. So okay, that's what I needed. And then I started to work hard on that. But it's difficult for someone to quit a job because like most of us got used to that routine.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a lot of people who were like, you quit a job without finding a job. Or are you sure?
Like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, like usual pattern or usual solution is you find a job and leave a job. And so it was scary for you as well to listen to all of those, because when so many people tell the same thing, you start to believe,
if they are they right?
Is that true? Okay, am I going to suffer? But actually it turned out well, right? So I'm doing well now. So I'm getting more opportunities to connect with people, do shows and create content and so on.
And most importantly, do what you love.
Doing what I love, so I don't feel like I'm working. I'm just living.
Of your hobbies.
Living. Livin. Living. Yeah. So you have to be careful, but it doesn't mean you should not take those. Like, I think usually if you're quitting a job, people advise you to save 6 months of salary and then
Yeah. Have
quit
that
your job.
safety net.
Yeah. So I didn't think of that. That's a problem, but that would work.
We'll come back into a very important topic. I think a learning that I myself would like to get from you. If I ask, Haran, give me a crash course on content creation.
Okay. So content creation, first, obviously you have to pick what area you want to choose, not because it's a trending thing, not because you want to get so many views. It's easy to get so many views just by doing stupid things, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is not to get more views, but get more views in the right direction. So if you are into playing guitar, if you are into deep conversation, if you're into dancing, if you're into singing, if you're into public speaking or magic or how to manage money or life tips or productivity, all of those things are like different topics for you to try out. And pick one that you have, that sometimes you have this default knowledge because you grew up that way. Your father is a businessman, your mother is a teacher. In that case, you might by default, even without you knowing, you have some skills because you grew up looking at them.
Yeah.
Those things can come out as content. And what I recommend is, what I have tried is, anyway, I just tried for 1 or 2 months some random content to see if it's working. So I tried dance. There was a Korean filter, Korean face filter. I saw a lot of people using it. I was like, I should also try this because a lot of views are coming to those people. And I also and then I get like 13 views. I was like, okay, that's bad. And then I tried some different characters and different filters to see what's working. And then one day I thought of, student and teacher comedy, let me try it. And I did one video and it got like some 10,000, 20,000 views or something. I was like, interesting. Because it's an original character I created.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let me try a few more. And then I did like 100 days continuously, one content per day.
Oh, it's a commitment.
Yeah, very simple, not like hard one. I think of, okay, what is something funny? Okay, teacher, student says ILY and teacher is like, student says ILY and ask what is ILY and the teacher is like, I love you, and student is like, I love you too.
Small things.
Yeah, small things. I thought of small things, and it's very easy to record. Number one, it has to be easy to record if you want to be consistent for 100 days. Don't make it complicated, right? So this one's a little hard work. You have to put 3 camera light, and I think now you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But if I think of 100 days of commitment and I have this kind of a plan, it's difficult alone unless there's someone to help. So my simple idea was like stand in front of the light, record like a teacher, cut, record like the student, cut, teacher, cut, student, cut, check, put subtitle, post. So every day 7 to 7:30 is my content creation. Only half an hour. I can't spend more than half an hour. I don't want to spend more than half an hour. Very bad video quality. I put some filter to make it a little bit brighter. And I put for like 100 days. So consistently I saw like around 10,000 views. Sometimes 6,000, but 10,000, 20, some 30, one got 100k views. So it was getting to a standard, and even my character became stronger because at the beginning I spoke like teacher, like those kind of things, without defining properly. Like my eyebrows might be normal, like teacher, but over time, like it became sharper. The character became like boxed properly.
Yeah.
So in that 100 days, like my goal was 100 days, like rather until I get 10,000 followers. So around the 100th video or something, I got the 10,000 followers. And after that, I decided to slow down a little bit. Maybe two videos a week or something. So that worked. And people kept seeing my face every day. Like, right? First day, okay, fine. They don't follow you, right, on the first video. Second video, they don't follow. Third video, they watch, they don't follow. After the 6th or 7th video, they're like, okay, I'll follow.
Cool.
Cool. So he's trying something. So that's my advice. Pick an idea or just have 1 month to experiment content. Like try to post maybe 1 or 2 videos every week. Like I recommend once every day, 1 video, simple one. Like experiment to see which ones are working and which ones are not working, and make sure that you love what you do, what you enjoy what you're doing, and then after that pick whatever is working and like try that one specific element for the next 60 to 100 days, and that will already give you enough practice. It will define what you're doing, and also it will establish your brand as he's known for, he's this kind of a guy or a girl, and then after that, once you have settled, now again you don't have to stop experimenting. I still experiment content. Then I tried software engineering character, which suddenly like 1 million views. I'm like, what? 1 million? Is it me for real? So that was a shock for me, because student video like 10,000 to 100, that gap. 1 million was a shock. I was like, oh, I released a new character.
Which is still ongoing, I believe.
Yeah, it's going still. So both come back. I'm thinking of not parallel universe. Yeah.
Sense.
What is it? Multiverse.
Multiverse.
Maybe both of them meeting. I'll think of something like that. So again, just because you got 1 million views doesn't mean you have to maintain the 1 million all the time. 1 million happened, okay, fine, let me put another video. So that might get a 10,000 views again, that's fine. So that's the other thing, 1 million to 10,000, you're like, drop in performance. Like, I don't think I think I can't go beyond. And after that, people reduce the frequency of posting. Now they are thinking, I have achieved 1 million, but if I achieve less, now it's
embarrassing.
Yeah. But now I gave up that mindset. 1 video, 1 million, fine. Another video, 10,000, fine. I'm just gonna put what I enjoy anyway. Maybe the next step is for me to experiment doctor. Like, I don't know. There can be a doctor character.
Yeah.
So which I'm thinking of still. So experiment for like 30 days or something and pick whatever is working and try for 100 days. I think that's the simplest crash course I can give. See, the crash course needs execution.
That's the
it's not like
part,
learning.
Yeah. No matter how much planning you do, no matter how much you think about it, it's all in the actions and how you then take action towards getting where you want to go.
Yes, actions, yeah. Actions only will give you the learning materials.
And
customized for you.
Important point, because the experience could differ from person to person, and it will, without a doubt. So it's finding your purpose, it's finding your passion, and then molding yourself to become that person, or the character, or could be whatever you want to achieve.
Everybody can write a book about themselves. I tried this, failed because I failed because this happened. I succeeded because of this. Now it's a book about you. It's interesting to read, and you can even learn from other people, and again put that back to your notes. So people at the moment, everyone has that in the head. The book is in the head. But if you actually want to take it seriously, the growth seriously, then you have to log your, that's called diary, right? Yeah. Writing diary, technically.
Journaling.
So that's my crash course tip.
Brilliant. So after that crash course, I want to talk about, take the focus back to you. I wanted to know, like, did scaling up, like you said, you got to 10,000 followers, and I think now you're at around 60,000 followers at the moment on Instagram, and I'm sure in other social media platforms as well. Yeah.
TikTok 80,000.
Okay.
I'm a big deal,
guys. Followed, go ahead.
I'm a big deal, okay? So remember who you're talking to.
So, did these achievements, you can call them achievements, change you in any way? Did that help your personality? Did that, affect you in a sense? Or how did it affect
my personality, has it changed? I think personality became stronger. More confidence happened. When people recognize me, nice, okay. Those are good feelings, right? more videos, more reach, more people getting to know, and more opportunities. So it's connect. Everything is connected. So because of one video, if I do, let's say I do a promotion to one brand, and I do it so well, like not just to get money out of that, but I do it so well, that's an opportunity for me to get another brand collaboration from a different brand, because they're like, wow, this guy did a brand promotion for this brand, it's so good, I also want a video for our brand from this guy. So at the beginning I was a little uncomfortable to do brand videos, like okay, I'll just talk about it and get some money. It's just a passive thing. That's because I do content well, it's coming up, so that's what I was thinking before. And I thought, I mean, that's also an opportunity for me to connect with people. I might go to a company and then shoot the video there with the people who are working there, which is fun. I push them to act, and they also, laugh. The other people also come and watch their own staff performing on those things, and it's fun, like a wholesome movie or something. Yeah. So wait, what was the question? I forgot.
So it was
how did
your popularity, you getting all these followers, did it change you in a sense? So how did it affect you basically?
In a good way, it has affected me, not bad. Since I love to talk to people and connect and help them and get some help and so on, so far I'm enjoying it. It didn't affect me negatively, because also the people that I'm working with, so whatever questions I have, I can always get clarified from them.
Right.
So there's a team of people who, when you have a doubt, you don't have to work alone to figure it out. So that team is also there to, clarify, share their opinions and so on. So again, it comes back to the people.
So that helps. So when you talk about people, I mean, there should be a way or the method that you build your network, right? Because we've been talking about networking, we've been talking about how you could, go ahead and speak to people and build those connections. What is your take on networking? Why is it important? And if somebody is starting out and if someone's an introvert at the moment, how can they break their shell and start building that network to better help themselves and help the others in rivers as well?
Yeah. So the first thing is, we actually spoke about it on a different podcast as well, but it was a Tamil podcast. The moment you label yourself as introvert, it doesn't mean you have to, push yourself back saying, I'm an introvert, I don't talk to people. That's the first problem. People don't do networking because they label themselves as, I'm an introvert. That's an excuse, I would say. Right? But humans need humans to connect and help. You need a doctor, there should be when you go out to buy stuff, there should be people to sell you things, to help you and so on. So we need people. That's a foundation level. We can't work alone on anything. So are you asking specifically to introverted people?
No, like in general, but how the introvert person also could get an advice out of you?
So if it's specific to introverted people, then you have to exercise that skill.
Let go of the label, basically.
Yeah, let go of the label, or label yourself, or label in a nice way. I'm an introvert who is trying to connect with people. Okay, but don't label yourself to push yourself back. Like, I'm not talking because I'm an introvert. That's not an excuse. And attend events and how to start a conversation easily. Like, if you go to a networking event, obviously there's a goal for that networking event, right? People know it's a networking event, so you don't have to be like, if I say hi to them, will they feel awkward? I don't think so, because it's a networking event. It's established as networking event. So what's the easiest way to start a conversation? Saying, hi, I'm Anderson. It's simple. After that, it will just flow. See, the problem is just the first part of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Just starting is the problem. So I told you how to start. It's just saying hi. That's all.
So then take it from there, basically.
Yes. So that's the hard part. Like, usually the first step is the hard one for anything, right? So you networking, hi is the hardest part. So just say hi, I'm Anderson from this, where are you from? I'm working here, where are you working? And after that, just see what you can learn from them or what you can share from your experiences. And I think networking is so important. Like when two people with same goals meet, they are able to create an industry, right? So just imagine, because of the open mics events we did, is the reason why we found more people. So technically that's networking.
So is it what gave birth to Hahalanka as well, which is your
comedy brand, comedy club? Yes. So for an extroverted people, there are plenty of events that they should attend, is what I say. Or just create your own event. That's the other thing I want to cover. If you can't find events, create an event.
For yourself.
Yeah. Create an event and invite 10 people. Like a small event, not like when I say event, don't go to like 1,000 people club party. I'm not talking about that. Create a simple event where you can discuss about a movie or a book club, movie club, or just Sunday morning exercise at Viharamadevi Park. Whoever wants to join, let me know.
Yeah.
And then put them to a WhatsApp group. And even if there are 3 people coming, that's networking, right? After that, if they enjoy it, if you guys can create something interesting, you can invite a couple of more people.
So that's basically what you did to get networking and those people around, is it?
Yeah. So starting small, you can have bigger goals, but you need to remember you have to start small. Like you need to remember you have to start, not like start small, but start. There's one step before that. And create those opportunities and find the people who are already doing events. Go and talk to them and say, hi, I also want to host an event. Give me some tips. Where can I start? Is there a free venue? Can I find free resources? You might be able to find people.
Yeah.
Or like putting some money, fine. There are enough people. Can I volunteer? Best thing to do. Can I volunteer? I'll just do things for free because I want to meet more people. You guys are organizing an event. You guys are organizing an open mic. I'll just help. I'll just stay at the entrance and just welcome people. Right? Volunteering is also super like massively underrated. You can always volunteer for events. Those opportunities, like I think there are different steps. I would say go to Facebook, find an event, or just ask a friend, are there any events? Even I have a channel on my Instagram called Events in Colombo. So whoever has any events, I just put it there. Just whoever wants to attend my event or other people's event. I ask people to share it with me so I can put it there. So if they can attend if they like, they can volunteer if they like, and learn. And then also you will meet a couple of more people there. Like with them you can create more events. Event. Create as many as possible.
For yourself.
Yeah.
So I think we learned a lot today from you with regards to content creation, how you became a comedian, and what gave birth to your life after being, I'd say, a software engineer. And it's an interesting journey for you to just, go from that to now being a person who does something that you really love. Not that you hate coding or software engineering.
Like coding.
But it's all about following your passion and having that love for what you do. Before we conclude things, I want to know what is one moment that in your life that you want to speak about, or any advice that you've gotten, the best advice you've gotten throughout your life that either changed you, or any moment that in particular changed your life. Is there something like that you could tell our viewers? Did I ask a no question? Oh, let's put it this way, like any advice you have for our community?
Just put yourself through more and more opportunities, and accept failure as a part of it. Your goal is to, long term, go somewhere, right? In order for you to go somewhere, you have to face failures and rejections. accept it. Don't fight. I got rejected. Just accept it and then try the next one. So I think that would be my advice. Get used to failures and rejections, and just keep saying yes to opportunities, because sometimes what you define as, okay, this is my area, and you are like, I'm satisfied with this thing, which is totally fine. Sometimes there's an unexplored area. When you step in, you're like, wow, this is interesting, and you start to enjoy growing from there. So the interesting thing is, the more opportunities that you say yes to, even without you realizing, you're going to different stages of life.
Yeah.
Like slowly you're going, you don't realize it. When you suddenly look back, you're like, wow, I have come from this to this, and I never realized I come this far.
Yeah.
But when I suddenly compare where I started, there's a long way. Like in 1 year, you can have some amazing growth. So, which is small steps every single day. But always have connecting with people as your priority. Go to events, connect with people, talk to people, learn from them, follow them on Instagram or WhatsApp, whatever. So that you might not need them now, but you will need them after 2-3 months or something. You might have an idea like, wait, who can I talk to about this idea? Like, I met that person at that event, and you're like, okay, I have this idea. Hi, how are you? Do you think it's possible? Okay, so that's my take.
Okay, so with that, we'll wrap up today's conversation. Thank you, Haran, so much for joining us and helping our viewers understand what content creation is, and giving that crash course as well, which I think would be helpful for a lot of you guys out there.
And thank you for being a great interviewer, for listening carefully to everything I say without just asking and like.
No worries.
So good. You're creating a good environment. Yeah, I don't know if you're consciously choosing this environment or it's like by default it's a good environment, right? It's quiet and fully focused, no distractions.
Well, we want to give the speaker an experience as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And of course, everyone who's listening from home, you might be traveling, anyone who's listening in, thank you so much for taking your time and, taking the time to listen to us. And hopefully you get something out of it and you get to implement it as we talk. Doesn't always matter that you plan it, it's all about action. Taking action with your plans, your dreams, and whatever you want to do in life. So make that a habit. Make sure that you subscribe for more content like this coming in the future. So keep subscribed, like, and comment your favorite moment from this episode, and we'll discuss more in the comment section. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you soon.